My name is Joe Moran, and I research and write on shyness, and I'm also shy. That's one of the reasons why I only agreed to do this film if I'm stood in the middle of nowhere with no one around to see or hear me. When I started researching and writing about shyness, I found that it was a very difficult subject to research and write about for two reasons. One is it's a very unglamorous, mundane, chronic condition. And secondly, it's not really something that leaves any evidence behind. For fairly obvious reasons, people who are shy don't tend to speak or write about it. So there's been an awful lot of emphasis in recent years on mental health and well-being in public discourse and policy. But shyness is one of those subjects that is kind of left behind in that discourse. Charles Darwin called shyness this odd state of mind. And he thought it was odd because it had no evolutionary benefit, or seemingly no evolutionary benefit, for our species. It was just a strange byproduct of us acquiring the ability to worry about what other people might think of us without ever being able to find this out definitively. I mean, thank God for that, most of us would say. But to me, that's what makes shyness so human. We don't make sense. We are messy, conflicted, non-algorithmic beings. And we are also meaning-making animals. And as soon as animals can make meaning, they can make meaning about themselves and their lives that are weird, self-defeating, and that sometimes make us unhappy. People often are surprised that I'm shy because I make my living out of words, writing, teaching, lecturing, public speaking, often speaking about myself. But to me, that's not that odd. Shyness is paradoxical, like much human behavior. And the thing about shy people, even the most shy people, that they are still, like all human beings, resiliently, inescapably social animals. And that's really all that happens when you are shy, is that you redirect your inescapably social instincts into other, less obvious areas. We are not the only communicative animals. There are lots of animals, whales, dolphins, birds, that have incredibly sophisticated languages. But we are the only animals who turn our communicative instincts into substitute or tangential forms, like writing, for instance. We are the only animals who make marks on a page or on a screen that can be read by people who are not there, who will never see, may never know. So it's no wonder really that writing appeals to shy people. The more surprising thing perhaps is that shy people are often drawn to the idea of performance. There are lots of shy actors, shy TV, radio presenters. But again, this isn't as odd as you might think. One of the things that shy people like me tend to find difficult is social ambiguity. We don't tend to like semi-spontaneous social situations like huddles at parties or the photocopier at work, where we're not quite sure if we're supposed to speak or when we're supposed to speak. And the reassuring thing about this, even though in some ways it's quite scary, is that it's clear. The camera is pointing at me, I've got a microphone, and you're expecting me to speak. So it's almost as though I've been given permission to speak. And the other liberating thing about this is that it's a performance. This isn't me. It's a sort of half-invented version of me. Shy people often report feeling less shy when they are performing a role or when they are dressed for it, when they're a nurse in their scrubs or a police officer in uniform. The Germans have a word for this. It's Maskenfreiheit, that the freedom conferred by masks. There's an increasing tendency to medicalize shyness, to see it as a pathology, a debility that we have to cure. And I worry that we are pathologizing something that is actually just part of the ordinary, complex mesh of life. Because that's really what Darwin's theory of evolution is all about. It suggests that nature is just a beautiful, glorious mess. Evolution is not looking for the optimal or perfect solution. In nature, anything that doesn't fail is fine. So what you get in nature, the world, in evolution, is millions and millions of different solutions to the problem of being alive. And I think of shyness as being like that. It's just one of the many solutions to the problem of being alive. Now, it may not be a very good solution, but it is a solution. It's part of the complex jigsaw of human experience. It's really part of what makes us who we are.